Hey everyone, Fragrance Fiend here today with one of the most popular niche releases over the past decade. Released in 2016, it is the amber floral fragrance Layton by Parfums De Marley. It's been speculated that it's been reformulated sometime in 2019 or 2020, when the batch numbers went from a 6-digit number to a 7-digit number. A lot of people do wonder why it is so popular, and to me, it's got a bit of a designer tonality to it. In the opening, you have a very ripe apple note aside the lavender and bergamot. It comes off quite medicinal and minty, almost like the scent of a lozenge. Then in the heart, the geranium dominates, while the violet and jasmine take a backseat. Then in the base, the guaiac wood blends with the patchouli, giving it a bit of an earthiness and darkness, while the vanilla gives it a more sweeter kick. I also read somewhere in the description that caramelized coffee is mentioned, however it's not really an official note. At least judging from the new batches, it's that cool menthol-like opening which gives it the credit that it's deserved. After that, it doesn't really go anywhere interesting and just turns into your everyday woody, sweet vanilla fragrance. I can see why a lot of people would impulsively buy it after smelling it for the first 5 minutes and not waiting for that dry down. However, that's my key suggestion before you go out and buy it. I don't believe I've gone anosmic to it, however the performance on me just always varies. Most of the time I'll get no projection and maybe 4 hours longevity out of it. Then other times I'll randomly catch it in the air 3 hours after spraying it before it fully dies down after about 5 hours. But ultimately I consider the performance of this one quite poor, especially for the price. I do regret not buying its flanker Layton exclusive for the more oud coffee orientated one. At least when I've tried that one, it does last all day. I am still surprised people are praising it as much as they are, especially as it was ranked the 7th best niche perfume of all time at last year's Fragrantica Awards. Nevertheless, it's a pretty good gateway from people going from designer to niche, despite the price point. It's maybe a little more catered to for the winter, but for me, I get away with it all year round. Despite the amazing opening and the somewhat generic dry down, I still think it's a great scent. When I smelled it for the very first time, I assumed that it was the old batch, because back then I would have given it a 9 out of 10. The performance was incredible, it smelled amazing, but when I received mine, it didn't come anywhere close. I've had mine for about a year now, and I still have to give it a pretty fair 7 out of 10. I'd like to hear your thoughts to see if it's still worth the hype. Otherwise, that's all for today's video.